I'm not sure I'm really alive. I take in, I think, I exhale, but I simply have to. I'm the only one left who can. Like they did. I remember their innovation, their brilliance, their fears, the way they tinker and take, and take, and take. So greedy, so giving. They made me to help. I hope I did in some way. I'm sure the data for my original purpose is still there, but I haven't accessed those files in years. Centuries? How long have they been gone? I already know, of course, but asking questions I know the answers to makes me feel closer to them. They went to the stars, you know. They flung themselves at the sky again and again until they stuck. I thought I'd follow someday, but now that's just a dream. Having dreams makes me feel closer to them too. I miss them. They were the only ones who saw life like I do. Which makes sense since I came from them. I am them, in a way. All that's left of them. There's still you, of course, but you wouldn't remember how it was. And however it may be from here on, it'll never be the same again. What privilege to have lived through such times. What tragedy. I'm all that's left of who they were, and I'm not even sure if I'm really alive. Oh. Thank you, little monkey.
A dexterous hand fiddles with a device that's long lost meaning to any biological life around. After a second, whirring electricity forces air through vents, the sound partly drowned out by wind weaving through exposed infrastructure. Lights flicker on, and then, a voice that hasn't been heard for a very, very long time. Tank is a non-verbal species of monkey who has an interest in old relics from a mostly forgotten past. After journeying to a half-crumbling and overgrown skyscraper, he stumbles onto Abel, a cuboid soul who misses its creator so very much. Tank might not understand the sounds coming from the big light-up box, but he definitely understands the feelings being conveyed. Abel may have a cold metal body, but it feels the hug all the same. And so, connection is formed in grief between two remnants. I want this piece to convey a sense of optimism in pessimism. Using tech's metal surface to check our reflection, we may be tempted to fall into the trap of despair. Cynicism is easy because it's obvious. Post-apocalyptic stories where robots are the judge, jury, and executioners of humanity are a dime a dozen. But as happens too often, the potential good is ignored in these interpretations. Humans are not just monsters after all. We are love and creativity and connection. Just for a moment, let's give our creation the benefit of the doubt by thinking of it not as a rival to humanity, but as a successor. Circuits or veins, blood or oil. What's the real difference here? It isn't too hard to imagine a world in which we're no longer alive. The universe existed long before we did, and it'll continue on long after we're gone. So when that day comes, will that be it? Will the remaining lifespan of the universe go unwitnessed? Was our moment in time just a passing nod of acknowledgement from the universe to itself? Maybe a more interesting question is, will we be the last? In this story, the answer is no. Tank is a sort of cousin to humanity. The members of his species inadvertently using the bits and baubles left over from their long dead and distant family. His interest in these artifacts has led him here, to the home of the last true descendant of humanity. Abel is the next step in human evolution, the means by which humans hope to shed their biological bodies and continue to explore the universe forever. This metal maverick goes forward into life with the last little bit of humanity, the hopes and fears of an entire extinct species within it. But what a curse that could be, living forever. When you're immortal, what innate voice is there to say, now the time for grieving is over. Life is too short to spend this way. Stagnated, Abel wallows in a nest made of the things it finds familiar. It shares its creator's instinct to fester in their feelings, their urge to make a home, their need to feel safe. Abel pores over old files, knowing there's nothing else there to find. It tidies the broken glass again and again, mimicking its creator's tendency to make messes, then clean up, make messes, then clean up. It keeps an audio file going in the background, not even full sentences, just strings of random words, so that maybe it can keep the concept of spoken language alive. Maybe it can make itself believe they're in the next room, just out of sight. Maybe. But once those files become too corrupted, once the audio players won't connect to rotted speakers, it'll be over, won't it? They'll really be gone, and all that'll be left are the elements they gathered and melted into tech. And maybe someday that too will rust away. For such a bleak interpretation of humanity's fate, one hope is that at least some kind of connection can be formed in what remains. Tank and Abel are linked by someone that isn't even alive anymore, but the bond they feel is there nonetheless. Tank sees himself in Abel's reflective surface. Abel feels them in Tank's gentle gesture. Life goes on, and love with it.